Okay, so my name is William. I come from North Carolina. I came to Korea in 2004 because since I was maybe 15 or 16 years old, I had been learning Taekwondo. And I did Taekwondo several years. And in 2004, my Taekwondo instructor offered me a chance to come to Korea. And there was a small school that had a Taekwondo department. And they offered me a full scholarship for 2 years. So I came here for that. And since that time, I studied Korean language. I did my bachelor's degree, my master's degree here. And I've been here ever since.
This is Chilpo Beach, one of the many beaches in Pohang, South Korea. To William, this rocky outcrop at the northern end of the beach is known as ADS 126. ADS stands for the Adopt a Dive Site initiative of Project Aware. Due to its location and ocean currents, this location has a lot of debris on both its shores and beneath the waves. Since moving to South Korea, William has developed a strong connection for this area and has made it his mission to clean it when ocean conditions allow him to do so.
윌리엄이 4년 전에 처음 이제 겨울이었죠. 겨울에 저희 샵을 찾아왔을 때 스쿠버 다이빙 시작을 어떻게 하느냐라고 물어봤었습니다. 그때는 이제 제가 이제 영어를 잘하는 게 아니기 때문에 어떻게 교육이 가능할까 하는 의심도 했었고, 겨울이다 보니까 이제 한국 바다는 좀 차기 때문에 어떻게 드라이 슈트가 아닌 웨 슈트로 교육이 진행이 될까 해서 윌리엄에게 이제 정중하게 3월이나 4월 달에 다시 저희한테 방문을 해준다면은 제가 좀 더 영어를 준비를 해서 교육을 할 수 있으면은 해주겠다라고 해서 그때부터 이제 인연이 시작됐습니다. 그때는 이제 윌리엄 이제 개인 장비로 하는 게 아니라 저희한테 장비를 빌려서 교육을 시작했었는데, 뭐 지금까지 이렇게 꾸준하게 해오는 거 보면은 다이빙에 대한 열정도 있고, 그리고 또 뭐 바다를 정말 이제 자기 고향이 아닌 한국 바다를 정말 사랑하는 것 같아서 저는 이제 개인적으로 정말 고맙게 생각하고 있습니다.
The first time I got into the swimming pool, I didn't enjoy scuba diving at all. I felt like, an astronaut putting on all of this gear and I felt, encumbered by everything. Snorkeling is very quiet. All you hear is, but you don't hear the bubbles. You just hear air passing. So it's very quiet. You can hear the ocean. But with scuba diving, you hear every time you exhale, you hear blah, 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 blah. So it was very noisy, but he explained to me, he said, as you do scuba diving more, you'll come to love that sound because it means you're breathing, right? It means you have air and you're not going to die underwater. So, and he was right. Over time, I began to enjoy scuba diving, and I've been scuba diving ever since. And so the first level of scuba training is open water. And so the next level is advanced open water. And when you do advanced training, advanced open water training, you have 5 specialties that you have to complete. There's one specialty called AWARE. AWARE is a conservation arm of the PADI Scuba Diving Organization. And they focus a lot on conservation of the ocean. And another wing is about debris, marine debris. And so to do and complete that specialty, basically all that I needed to do was go scuba diving. And if I find some trash in the water, just put it in my pocket, take it out of the ocean, and do a little report on the website. And so I thought that would be a way that I can finish my advanced scuba diver training. So I did that. And what happened was, after I had completed that course, I wanted to go scuba diving just to practice some basic skills. I wanted to practice taking off my scuba unit or finding my regulator if I lost it. Very, very basic scuba skills. So I started just going to the beach. So what I would do was I would go down and I found a scuba diving location near Chilpo Beach, and I would just pay 10,000 won to borrow an air tank and weights. And I would just go off the beach. I could just walk there, so I didn't have to pay a boat. I could just walk into the water and just go out deep enough and just practice the basic things I wanted to practice. But as time went on, when I was there in the water, I started seeing trash. So I started cleaning these things basically because I didn't want to look at them. But my instructor told me that you should report this. You should report it to the Aware Dive Against Debris website. And so whenever I would go diving, I would just clean up trash and report it. And yeah, I just fell in love with it. I just kept doing it. I was tired of looking at trash and just cleaned it.
The waves aren't too bad. It's a little bit choppy as far as wind, but last week, a couple days last week, the waves are pretty high, over 2 meters, maybe 2.5 meters. So there's a lot of debris, broken plant life, seaweed, things like that washed up on the shore. And the first, I'd say probably 30 or 40 meters from the shore out into the water is going to be saturated with that stuff. So its visibility is going to be pretty much zero until I get out. But I think once I get out, couple maybe 20, 30, 50 meters offshore, I think it'll clear up a little bit. I don't expect visibility to be great, but hopefully everything will work out and I can get a lot of debris clean today.
Just before the official beach season starts, and many visitors flock to the beaches of South Korea, William went down to his dive site to do his regular cleanup. In just a short 40-minute dive, and with poor visibility, William was able to find debris and trash ranging from disposable plastic bags, old shoes, discarded eel traps, and much more. It was shocking to see how much he brought back to the shore from under the water, and it made me wonder how much more he would have collected if he were to dive for longer, and how much more there would be when the beach season finally started.
The temperature was pretty good. I didn't wear my computer, so I don't know the exact temperature, but I'd guess maybe 17, 18 degrees right around this area. But the visibility was pretty bad until you move around the point, go a bit farther north, and then the visibility clears up. So the visibility is pretty good out there, maybe 4 or 5 meters, which is pretty good for this area. Good enough for cleaning, and got a lot of trash, so today was a success. Plastic in there.
So the trash that I typically find is varied, and actually it changes depending on the season. So because I'm on the Aware website, I actually adopted Chilpo Beach. They have a program called Adopt a Dive Site, where you adopt a certain dive area and you have a responsibility every month. You make a promise that every month I will go there and I will do a debris survey and dive and come back and report my data. So I try to go there at least once a month. And some months, like in summertime, I may go there 2, 3, even 4 times a month. And in wintertime, conditions here in Korea tend to be a little bit rough as far as waves and surf are concerned, so I can't go in winter. But I find that the type of debris that I find changes by season. So for example, when I go in wintertime, the debris I find is debris that's obviously been in the ocean for some time. But as the beach season approaches towards the end of summer and especially fall, I tend to find a lot more trash related to people that are using the beach. Like ice cream wrappers, or, in this area people eat ramen. So there's a lot of ramen packages, or just small things, styrofoam, little plates of styrofoam and things like this that people are using at the beach. And when you find it in the water, you can tell that it's new. You can just feel it. It looks like something that just came out of the store. And so pinning down a source is very difficult, but I think probably the main source is people just being careless with their debris, whether they're fishermen on small fishing boats. I don't mean big, huge industrial fishing boats, but I mean like the small fishing boats around the area. Either these guys are throwing their household trash or their boat trash in the water, or people on the beach are carelessly leaving their trash and it's finding its way to the ocean. Now, obviously, I don't have any conclusive research to prove that, but just over the 4 years that I've been cleaning these sites, I get the feeling that most of the debris I find is people just being careless.
The flow of debris into our oceans is an ongoing problem. Researchers generally agree that about 80% of all ocean debris originated on land. According to a United Nations report, the top 5 most common debris items are cigarette butts, plastic food wrappers, plastic beverage bottles, plastic bottle caps, and plastic straws. These are small items that often end up in our oceans via the ugly journey of trash that begins in our cities. These items are often carelessly discarded, and after a rainy or windy day, find their way into storm drains and onwards to our streams and rivers, and finally to the ocean.
as part of the Dive Against Debris project, what I have to do is I'm supposed to separate this debris by type. So all of the plastic over here and the cloth and the rubber and the metal, and I just separate all this stuff by piece and record the data on the data card. So the data card has different things, you know, plastic bottles, over 2 liters, under 2 liters, plastic, this, that, and the other. There's probably 150 different types of debris that you log. And so I'll separate all of this, log it on the data card. Then I take pictures for my Facebook group so I can show people. And also for the website, when I record the data, one of the things I do for data consistency is I take pictures of everything I clean. So when I report this, people can actually audit my reports and say, wow, he really did clean 75 pieces of plastic, because just a picture, you can count if you want to. And so I'll take the pictures, put them on the website, and that's it. See, it's punching through my bag here. Some of the fiberglass I had to break to get it in. A lot of the trash is burned like this, like the Ghost Stop cards I found last time or this. I mean, I can't understand why I find shit that's burnt so often, right? Like, there's gotta be a reason for that. But you can see that's been burning. Actually, that's 2 pieces, 2 different things. Quite a lot of burlap today. And these are both from the same company, I think. This is ramyun, Shin ramyun. I think. 4, 5 food wrappers. Okay, let's look at these real quick. Ah, who's this guy? All right, here we go. Longitude, latitude. 22. 11. 3 plus 2, 5. So here, let me come down here. If I come over here to Korea, see Jeju's been busy lately. They don't have anything on me. So this is up until my last survey. Today, this probably be really close to 6,000 once they put what I did today in. But this is the pinwheel of all my... They can't even fit it on the screen. I wish I could just zoom out and see this pinwheel. But if I zoom out, it just comes back to this. So it'll be here. And that's it. Now just take a shower and have some adult beverages and enjoy the rest of my Saturday.
자, 윌리엄이 지금 4년 정도 되면서 너무 대단하다고 생각했던 게, 이제 윌리엄이 이제 환경 보호를 하는 섹터가 있는데, 이제 포항 쪽에 실포 해수욕장에서 이제 클린을 하고 있는데 너무 대단한 것 같아요. 봉사활동인데 매주 이제 바다가 허락하면은 가서 이제 청소를 하고, 그 다음에 이제 분류를 해서 자기가 이제 또 프로젝터 외에 브리핑도 하고, 그러면서 이제 한국 바다인데 한국 사람이 아닌 외국 사람이 이렇게 열정적으로 청소를 하는 거 보고, 아, 저 또한 이제 조금 반성하게 되고, 또 윌리엄과 함께 이제 한국 바다를 청소를 해 나가야 되지 않을까, 조금은 어렵지만 이제 시도를 해봐야 되지 않을까라는 생각을 많이 하게 됩니다.
Typhoon Ling is fast approaching the Korean peninsula, and by tonight, most of the country will be feeling it.
Typhoon Ling is expected to be one of the strongest typhoons South Korea's ever seen, though other storms have caused severe damage before.
The year's 18th typhoon is fast-moving and powerful. Mitak swept across the southern part of Korea yesterday and is now moving out towards the East Sea, forecast to leave the country by the afternoon.
The eastern coastal areas were the hardest hit, with cities like Uljin getting more than 500 millimeters of precipitation. Up to 200 millimeters of more rain is expected throughout the day. Meanwhile, regions in Gangwon province received as much as 150 millimeters, with the rest of the country seeing between 5 to 30 millimeters of rain.
Yeah, so it's been over a month since I've been down here to clean up at the beach, because this year we've had a record number of typhoons coming through South Korea, so the oceans have been pretty rough. Just like today, I wanted to come down here and dive today, but there's just so much waves, it's impossible and dangerous for me to get out there by myself and dive. And you know, as you can see on the beach, it's just nasty. There's just so much trash that's been washed up out of the ocean. Probably because due to the typhoon last week, the typhoon that came through last week didn't actually come to Korea. It was in Japan, but it made 4-meter waves here, and 4-meter waves are pretty big, and this is the result. This is all the trash that was once in the ocean, and now it's on the beach. So it's a lot easier to be cleaned up on the beach, but if it wasn't for the typhoon, then it would still be out there. So I guess there was a lot of damage with typhoons in Korea and Japan, but maybe it's a good thing because it helps clean the ocean and get trash out. So hopefully some good can come out of a typhoon.
So a lot of people ask me, why do I do this work? You know, why do you spend your money to drive down to the beach? And why do you spend money to borrow air tanks to clean the ocean? There's so much trash out there, and really the trash that I clean, it looks like a lot when I bring it out of the ocean, but really in the grand scheme of things, it's really a small amount. So people ask me, why do you do it? You're really not making a big difference. But at this point in my life, where I'm at in life, this work has kind of become like a legacy for me. Because, you know, I'm not married, I've never been married, and I don't have any children. And so this work is like a child to me. When I'm departed from this earth, when I leave this earth, I ask myself, what do I have that people are going to remember me for? What's going to exist of my life when I'm done? And this work and this film are going to be things that will represent me after I'm gone. And so for me, that's worth spending a little bit of money, because I enjoy scuba diving, of course, but also just fulfilling that need that I have in myself as a man to have some kind of legacy after myself is very strong motivation to keep doing this work. You know, I remember, many years ago, maybe, 8 years ago, I think, my sister and some other people from the city and from the surrounding area, they would go outside the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus, and they would protest the unethical treatment of the animals. They would organize by Facebook, and they would just go stand outside the circus with signs, saying, this is what's happening to elephants. And they were just out there letting their voices be heard. Maybe 3 years after she started doing that, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus closed down. And when I saw that, I thought to myself, wow, even just regular everyday people can go out there and make a real difference. Lately here in South Korea, the government's been doing quite a bit regarding plastic waste. And actually these days, quite a lot of civic groups are going out and they're taking action. And in particular, there's this one group in Pohang, and they're a group of mothers. And they go out to the beach with their children and they clean up trash. And they're teaching their children about the issue of ocean debris and plastic on the beach and people being more responsible with their garbage. That group and myself, we don't get money from the government. Nobody is paying my gas fee. Nobody's paying those mothers' lunch fee. Nobody's paying anybody any money to do that. They're just doing it because they care about this issue. And we need more people to act like that.
When I began production with William and saw the amount of debris that he collects from just one small dive, I couldn't help but feel a degree of guilt from knowing that I am as responsible as others at letting our waters become this polluted. William is passionate about what he does, and he will never give up on doing his part to ensure the life of our planet lives on. So far he has collected more than 6,000 pieces of debris. Now imagine how much debris could have been removed if more people were involved in these cleanup operations, and imagine how much cleaner our world's oceans and seas would be.
South Korea isn't really a well-known destination for scuba diving like Thailand or Indonesia. But even in Pohang, where I go scuba diving and where I clean trash, there's so much beauty out there and people really don't realize it. There are times where I'm out there and I'm cleaning trash and there are literally thousands of fish around me. Or there's other times where I'll be there in the ocean playing with an octopus or watching, a small hermit crab crawl across the bottom of the ocean. My guess is, I imagine that if people could really see what kind of beauty is out there in Korea's ocean, just right off the beach, not far away, but just right, 50 meters out of the water, then it would inspire people to care a little bit more about how they dispose of their trash. Everybody has the power in their day-to-day life to do something to help clean the ocean, right? I mean, people can use, reusable bags when they go shopping, or don't take a straw when you go buy your coffee, or be careful with trash and blowing out the window of your car. There's so many things that everybody can do to help reduce this problem of ocean trash. And all of these are simple changes that everybody can make in their daily life.